Hello, everybody.
Hi, friendos.
Welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Stra.
And today, before we fully detach from Kingdom Hearts numbers of days, we're going to take a look at the secret reports. But before we go over there, I just want to point out, and this didn't really occur to me before, there's commentary in-game about how, like, emotionless and robotic Roxas is at the beginning. You can literally see that his first 9 diary entries are just called Entry 1, Entry 2, until finally how long.
That's
Which is 26
clever.
days, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, all right, that's kind of a neat, subtle-ish way of doing that. Oh, does it mark off ones we looked at? It does?
Yeah, it
okay.
blues them.
That's interesting. Is there a way to just... Yeah, hang on, let me do this. Give me 1 second here. Just gonna skip through these real quick. So if you want to see these diary entries, we've done them in the stream. We may look back at these for context later.
That was all of them.
There we go. But not these. Not those ones. So yeah, all of these should now be blue. Okay, cool. So... Oh, it marked... No, it didn't mark all of these. Okay, weird. But we're just going to kind of take a look at these and see the plot that's getting in here. This will be kind of a laid-back episode.
It's story time, basically.
Yeah, we're going to read stuff.
Yeah. So a name defines an object.
Yeah, this is the name thing. We looked at this.
Describes the span of it, gives it purpose. We embarked upon the Replica program to ensure our new power stays ours. Now our shadow puppet, Number I, lives. It needs a name, something to define it, to give the hollow vessel purpose. I love it needs a name, something important. Wait, let's just garble this shit up with an X.
Yeah, let's just go with the number imaginary and an X.
Yeah. I don't know whose voice this is. This might be Vexen, or it could be... I mean, I guess it can't be... I mean, unless the secret reports change over time, because Vexen dies before the end of this year. So, I don't know. Maybe it could be Xemnas.
Oh, does it let you just switch back and forth with if you just hit triangle? Does it just flip you between?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. So it won't be hard. If we need context, we just hit triangle and we go, what was this now?
That's nice of the way they did it, though.
Yeah.
You can actually see the background.
All right. Seems like we're getting new members every day. Number 13 was a boy, Roxas. Now we've got a number 14, Xion.
These are definitely done by different people.
These are different people, yeah.
Okay.
God, so maybe this might be Vexen, but then this is like...
Axel?
Maybe Axel. I feel like they've had me babysitting him since he got here. He's not a bad kid, but he's spacey, good fighter, though. At least I won't be bored. That's totally Axel.
Yeah, this is definitely Axel.
This is like reading the cliff notes of like a Goosebumps, not a Goosebumps book, like an Animorphs book.
Oh, yeah, like from flipping between the different characters.
Yeah, where every chapter is like a new
perspective,
and you're like, fuck, wait, no, hang on.
Who is what again?
The Animorphs books are excellent.
Yeah. Xion is being monitored. Roxas, meanwhile, has begun his training exercises. It is imperative that we keep Xion from having undue contact with Roxas until we are certain he'll perform as expected, which will take another 10 days. If Vexen's convictions are to be trusted.
Okay, so this isn't Vexen.
So this isn't Vexen. This is probably Saix?
Saix?
It could be Zaldin, too, the one with the hair.
That's true.
Zaldin
didn't seem like he got that involved, though.
Yeah. Ooh, this is interesting. As for the Keyblade Master, Marluxia will no doubt be keeping an eye on him. But this is before they got sent to Castle Oblivion. So I'm not sure if this means that, like, was Marluxia... I kind of forget what Marluxia specifically wanted to do. It seemed like Marluxia wanted to try to get control... wanted to convince Sora to join the organization.
Well, I mean, this early on stuff is all during the same time as Chain of Memories.
Yes. Well, this is before Chain of Memories still.
This is in
Chain of Memories doesn't happen for another, like, 2-3 weeks.
But they still know something's going to be up, and, like, they're watching Sora. So I'm assuming that's what they mean. I assume they mean, like, Marluxia... Marluxia just makes more sense.
It kind of sounds better, yeah.
I just assume this means Marluxia is keeping an eye on Sora. Like
that's kind of my thought, because like also, but between Chain of Memories and even a little into in Kingdom Hearts 2, the organization is clearly trying to get Sora onto their side and be like, you need to join us. Don't you see this is the true? Like they're desperate because they don't have Roxas and they don't have Xion, and
they also kind of need
hearts.
to keep releasing hearts. Yeah,
they
so it's
no longer have any method by which to get hearts.
Yeah.
Before they were just following him around and vacuuming them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I could see it as being like, because I forget if Marluxia's plan was to get Sora to fight the rest of the organization so that Marluxia's in power at the end or something. I mean, I can't remember that specific portion of it, but I don't know. Another mission with Roxas today. This was, me and Axel.
Definitely Axel, yeah.
Is he seriously my responsibility? At least he's starting to talk like a normal person. Maybe that means his memory's coming back. Still, this kid's supposed to be the Keyblade Master's nobody? I don't see it. So, wow, he knows pretty much instantly.
Oh, wow, Axel. Yeah. Okay, so I guess everybody in Organization 13 knows who Roxas and Xion are.
Jesus. So Axel was full of shit even when he was being like
friend.
Well, even when he was like opening up to Roxas, and when Roxas was like, "Oh no," he was grilling him on how long he knew about Xion.
Yeah, but
maybe he doesn't know that yet.
I don't blame Axel for not really telling him all about it, because like this kid was literally born 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And additionally,
and he's some like random robot as far as he knows at this point.
Well, it's real
like,
tough to be the person to reveal to somebody like, by the way, you're not real. You're incomplete copy.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're
they're
a Xeroxed
all
clone
not real
of...
incomplete copies in the sense that like they're nobodies, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
that's
So,
literally
like,
how it
that's kind
works.
of true of all of them.
But I mean, all the nobodies in Organization 13, we don't know if their full bodies still exist.
Well, like
right, we assume they're regular nobodies, right?
it would be
Well, no,
like
because Axel used to be named Lee, right?
yeah.
Right, that's my point. We assume they're regular nobodies in that like they were somebody whose like Heartless thing happened.
Well, we know
and left
6 of
behind a
them.
nobody and shit.
We know 6 of them plus Xemnas are the nobodies of like apprentices. I forget if the other 6 were apprentices to Ansem or if they were the apprentices of Xehanort. But
I
like
think they were Xehanort.
the 7 of them were the 7 of them were kind of an organization of their own essentially, but not like for that purpose before
No,
then.
my point was just that like everybody is a weird shell copy
Yes, yeah.
of like their original.
But I could see
person.
why Axel would be reluctant to reveal that information, because like imagine if someone showed up and was like, by the way, I know things have been kind of difficult for you lately, but I need to let you know that there's someone out there that you are kind of a clone. Like there's this girl Kara, and she is like having a way better time, or she was until whatever happened that made it into you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh wait, now I need to like. It just becomes this existential crisis of.
I guess.
No,
I mean, he goes through it still, but slowly.
Yeah,
I guess.
it definitely is like a crisis that he approaches eventually.
Yeah.
But, for Axel, especially telling him early would be a bad idea. And then Axel really starts to like Roxas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
which
like,
turns it into like a whole thing.
I almost don't want to blow up his spot and be like,
Well, like before he had emotions, is like, how would he react to that? Would he just pull the Keyblade and start murdering
Yeah.
people? Like,
I mean, I feel like it'd be more like he'd be like, okay.
yeah.
Right?
I think he was probably hoping. Well, Axel being Axel, maybe he wasn't hoping. I think the rest of the organization was hoping that Roxas would evolve to be like non-emotional, but kind of cold and like antagonistic, like the rest of the group.
Yeah.
I think the problem was they let Axel be in charge of like talking to him.
Axel
Yeah.
is visibly the weak link
the
of
most,
the original
the
12.
most rebellious and uncontrollable
and actual
and
like
emotional.
emotional having,
Yeah.
I guess maybe he's not necessarily the weak link. He's the weak link in that he seems to have at least the vaguest hint of emotion himself, whereas you've got Marluxia and like Larxene and stuff who are like actively rebelling against the organ. Like, there's problems with this group. Clearly.
Oh yeah.
Oh
this-
yeah,
this
because they
group's
really
a
don't have.
mess.
They have no real reason to be coherent other than the fact that they are nobodies.
Yeah, and they were convinced
and they're
by
hoping
Xemnas.
to. Yeah, and Xemnas has convinced them that this will
Do
fix
this
their
and I'll
problem.
give you lives again.
Yes, we all get to be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Because you're not real now, because I've told you don't have a heart, and therefore you can't be real without emotions. And yeah, it's just like all one big string of lies to keep them in his weird cult.
Yeah, it's so messed up.
Oh my God, that
Also, ugh, how
45
dare-
degree exclamation point.
Yeah, how
What?
dare they shut me out of monitoring the Keyblade Master, and then to send me off to that half-baked nobody basic. Wait, and then to send me off to teach that half-baked nobody basic magic, which was didn't say who.
The
I
other
want to say this was
members, yeah.
Vexen actually.
Yeah.
I should have had him light me on fire. It won't be long now, though. Once I'm over at CO, our plan goes to action. No, we're playing Nanny ever. Never mind. Not. This is
No,
probably
this is
Larxene.
the person Castle Oblivion. Yeah.
This is either Larxene or Marluxia. That's interesting. So like they were plotting it pretty far ahead, and like I guess it's only a week ahead, but it's like all right, they're leaning into that a bit.
I mean, you kind of have to have a plot, right?
Oh, they pushed up the CO plan. Our little hero with the key must have made a move. Oh yeah, this is him arriving at Castle Oblivion probably.
Yeah.
Me and his nobody have been meeting up for ice cream the last few days. Oh, so this is Axel.
Axel, yeah.
Not the best conversationalist, but he's at least mastered a few facial expressions besides doom and gloom. I told him about CO, but he didn't seem to follow. Guess that's understandable. All right.
CO is
Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion, okay.
Yep. Here at least it's rendered like the letter O. For some reason in the game they render it like the number 0, and it's really weird.
Oh, that's straight with like
Yeah.
the line and shit.
Not with the line, but it's like a skinny O. Like it's noticeably thinner than the
Huh.
C.
It's not ovular, it's more up and down.
The program is largely on target. Number I, my finest replica, has proven an even greater success than I anticipated. So this is Vexen.
Yep.
I intend to take the other vessel judged unfit for number status to Castle Oblivion, where I will subject it to further testing. So that's the Riku replica.
Yep.
One thing is clear, could these replicas not be classified as a special sort of nobody? Perhaps replicas.
Yeah. Could we call them replicas instead?
Who knows? Like, I forget what happened to the Riku replica at the end of that. Like, I thought that it got taken away with, like, Namine, but I could be wrong. Or did
Maybe
Riku
there's just
kill
an
it?
extra Riku hanging around. Who knows?
I'll have to go back and look again. Marluxia has succeeded in leading the Keyblade Master to the castle. I said, oh, interesting. It never really got, it just kind of like they showed up there. Like, it could have been like a little bit of manipulation, but this is the first, like, explicitly.
Marluxia left a trail to follow.
I sense multiple threads at work, but details on each of the projects are scarce. I suspect some alleged organization projects are secretly private machinations. Marluxia seems especially suspect.
Yeah, this is that realization that there's multiple groups within the group.
Yeah.
Saix makes sense because he's the one that wanted Axel to go kill people.
Yeah. Pressing Xion for answers would be a waste of time, I know that, but this dearth of information... Is it dearth or Darth?
Dearth.
Okay. Of information is hard to accept. What's happening on the upper levels? What ought we be doing down here? We're getting reports from inside Castle Oblivion? They hug their truths close and leave the rest of us to speculate.
How did this make it out?
Xion talks of the bond we share as an organization, but how could such a thing exist? Still, he remains the only one I can trust.
Man, who is this?
This is probably Ramen Head. This is
Noodle Boy?
Shit, what's his name? Lexius, I think? Because I think Lexius and Xion were together in the Riku section of the castle in the basement.
Yeah,
I
don't remember.
This is my frustration. Is there's so many things where I'm like, yes, I technically should have enough information to piece this together.
Yeah.
But like, guys, you give it to me so spread apart.
But also hot shit.
Simple deduction suggests Axel's outwardly inscrutable actions are the result of some directive from Saix. Why else eliminate Vexen? He simply wanted to do research. Did we not all stand to gain from the fruits of his program? What is Axel thinking?
Well, he's being told by...
Saix.
Yeah, this is probably Xion.
Well, I was going to say... Oh, this is from Zexion's point of view?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is getting interesting. So we're getting kind of a front row seat to, like, the betrayals and
panic.
Yeah. When Axel tries to go and kill all of the, like, quote-unquote...
the
non-loyal.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Organization. So this one doesn't have a paired diary entry from Roxas. Axel is in the way, though I don't know if he's aware of our plot. Vexen had no part in our plans. Why eliminate him, assuming Axel's orders were to root out traitors to the organization? Discerning his motives merits our full attention. That's got to be Marluxia.
Yeah,
because she's a traitor.
She's definitely planning.
I think Marluxia's the pink-haired guy. Larxene is the girl.
Is the yellow-haired bug girl.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Bug girl. Yeah.
That's how I think of her.
Yes. Oh, for sure. I think this is Marluxia. Like, that's my best guess anyway. But yeah, it's interesting how literally the entire organization's like, hey, why did Axel kill Vexen?
Yeah.
Like, both sides are like, wait, why?
Yeah, this is not
because he was one of the people that was sent to Castle Oblivion, and Saix told him to kill everybody.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm curious if we'll ever see Axel's point of view on that. I think he's like the one point of view we haven't heard as to why.
I mean, we've heard his point of view on like Roxas and shit.
Oh yeah. But we haven't heard his rationale for...
Well, he was just told to go and murder people, and he was like, okay.
Yeah. Is it possible that he's reluctant to allow Sora to die after spending time with Roxas?
I mean, I would feel like it's more like he's suspicious of Saix and those guys, but at the same time, he doesn't want to necessarily let them know he's not...
I guess.
I'm not sure that
it feels
he
weird,
would
though.
feel that attachment for Roxas after 27 days.
I guess.
Especially when it's only been like 4 days of Roxas actually being a person.
I guess that's fair.
And they didn't all really like super bond until
much later.
Like Roxas is upset that Axel never comes back from Castle Oblivion.
Yeah.
But like Axel, I feel like was less emotionally attached.
I'm curious if we're gonna get some reports from Axel during the time he's missing between Chain of Memories and the rest of 358/2.
Ooh, that's true. Maybe.
I've uncovered most of what I need to know about the Replica program, but where's the other one? Oh, maybe this is Axel then. Axel. This is probably Axel then.
No, pitiable. Like that doesn't sound like Axel. Vexen was caught in the middle, pitiable but unavoidable. I could not risk his program falling into their hands.
So this is definitely Axel.
This is Saix.
Well, no, didn't Axel killed Vexen?
Yes, but Saix did it told him to do it, and he's the greater concern are the traitors, not obvious turncoats, but the one who will get in his and my way. The Keyblade Master, like, this is Saix.
The whole thing, I could not risk his program falling into their hands, sounded like Axel being like, that's why I had to kill Vexen.
Axel doesn't plan that shit like that.
Yeah, I don't think pitiable is something that he'd say. Totally sounds like Saix, and also the ones who will get in his and my way is clearly referring to, like, seems to be his meaning Xemnas
so
and
here,
his own.
Not to sort of interrupt this train, but here is one of my major ultimate gripes codified in a single screen.
Yeah.
What would we lose from this experience
by telling us the author?
Putting the fucking author's name at the top of each note,
right?
This is what I'm talking.
This is what I was bitching about earlier.
So
that's like, yes, I technically have enough information to figure all of this out. But why are you doing it?
I have to be like I have to be Charlie from Always Sunny with a fucking board and attaching like ribbons and be okay, this and that, and here is this, just to figure out who actually said this.
It's
my
like
assumption
what talking about, like, oh, we saw
anything.
them together in Chain of Memories. So when he's talking about Marluxia, that has to be like.
Now, granted,
so
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, there was a reason for it in that you get led down a certain path and then have it revealed. Oh, that's not Ansem. Who is this other person? You realize, oh, it's false Ansem. Ansem.
Sure. Well, except in Kingdom Hearts 1, it was actually Ansem.
It was clearly actual
totally
Ansem, and they retconned it out.
But he was literally posing as Ansem.
And they called those the secret Ansem reports. Like, there was no question about who fucking wrote them. It was the person we knew as Ansem.
Yes.
And then they decided after one, Ansem was actually two people because of reasons. Don't worry about it.
But it's like that only matters in Kingdom Hearts 2 and onwards anyway. In Kingdom Hearts 1, it doesn't fucking matter.
And it was
like, it's not relevant.
That was relevant because the reversal of like, oh my god, that's not actually Ansem. This is some other dude who looks exactly like Ansem. Like, what? That I can understand.
Like, it only all becomes relevant because of all the nobody's shit that's going on.
Yeah, if the note was signed not actually Ansem, then I'd be like, wait a minute, what? Like, what are you giving away here? But it wasn't. It was signed Ansem. So, the goal of it was executed without unnecessary mystery. This is just
unnecessary mystery.
I don't
we're trying to decipher who's speaking out of 12 strangers who were already super hard to delineate between in the first place.
They all have similar fucking sounding names.
Yeah. The one good thing is that about a week or two later than this in the 358 we dropped that number down to 6.
Organization 6.
Yeah, because I assume Roxas and Xion aren't going to have reports here.
Yeah.
Which leaves 5 survivors, one of whom is Xemnas, and I don't think Xemnas is necessarily going to have him either. So it's going to be like Axel. It's going to be Axel, Saix, Demyx, Zaldin.
I doubt we're going to see any Demyx entries, but maybe that's just me.
And
it's going to be a song that you play.
Yeah. And shit, what was the
I hate being a nobody, guys.
Punk rock daddy.
Solid Snake?
No, not him. That's
Discount
Zaldin.
Hulk Hogan?
Oh no, that's not Zaldin either. Fuck. Because so there's Saix.
See,
there's
we need
Axel,
like pictures.
There's Turl from Battlefield Earth. There's Solid Snake, and there's Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
So those were our 5.
Yeah.
And Demyx actually is 6 there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
It's unnecessary.
Roxas, and we do the 3-week jump again.
Yeah.
Roxas woke up today. I think he was dreaming this whole time. Being with him feels strange, familiar, like listening to the waves crash up against the shore.
Xion entry, motherfucker.
Christ, god damn it.
Okay.
Why is she making secret reports? God damn it. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Fuck.
Wait, and is that Roxas? Oh no. Okay, no, you flipped to Roxas Diary.
No, go back to 50 for a second and hit Roxas Diary.
Oh, and the Roxas one? This is when he woke up after the...
Oh, okay. It said Xion's seashells. For a second, I thought it said, like, Xion's diary or Xion's writings or something. I was like, what?
The Replica program continues apace, but something has gone wrong at Castle Oblivion. The Dusks returned with word that the name of that none of those wow, Jesus. That none of those we dispatched survived, but the news came in fragments. What? Huh? How does that work?
Yeah, who
How does news like that?
News?
Yeah. I still know too little to extract the truth. I doubt Axel would be among those lost, but I must plan for the worst. First, I must locate the Keyblade Master.
I'm guessing this
Saix,
is Saix.
I guess. Yeah. It arguably could be any of them, but probably Saix.
Yeah.
I've lost track of the Keyblade Master and the other intruders. I'm the only one left in the castle, so that's Axel.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been destroyed. My orders were to end the traitors, but I think by this point I fit that bill better than anybody.
Well,
yes, you murdered 5 of them.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you didn't do 5 of them. Sora and Riku both did a couple as well.
Yeah, they knocked off a few of them by themselves.
There's one last thing I need to look into while I'm here, which is, I think, the Replica program. Sykes had a hand in what went down to Castle Oblivion. Well, more than a whole arm.
More like a
or
whole
more
arm.
like a, yeah. What?
Jesus, do you want me to read this?
No, I'm just like...
I was trying to understand and read at the same time.
Which means Axel was in on it as well. Wait, who? Okay. It's a fact that Xemnas ordered Axel to take out the traitors, orders which went through Sayx. No specific names were given, but naturally Xemnas knew who the turncoats were right from the get-go.
Huh.
No idea whose perspective this is.
Well, this is somebody assuming that everything that's happened was correct.
This is the Demix.
I'm gonna guess.
So I would assume
entry.
this could be Demix, yeah.
I'm gonna guess. No,
Or like
I'm gonna guess.
Solid Snake or somebody, yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
I'm thinking not Hulk Hogan because there's not nearly enough gambling metaphors in
References.
here.
Yeah, there are no gambling references.
I'm gonna go with I think there's Zaldin and there's the other one, and those are the 2 black-haired ones, and I can't fucking remember the names.
Yeah.
Harry Boy. I'm gonna go with Harry Boy and Turle and Solid Snake. The longer you know someone, the less you need to speak in clear terms. Everything gets across with a wink and a nudge, a little reading between the lines. Maybe this is Demix. When it comes to what befell our late comrades at Castle Oblivion, no, it's not Demix. Ambiguity suits me just fine, but the Keyblade Master and Roxas come out and say every little thing that come to mind. Maybe that's human, or maybe they're just special.
Okay,
I have maybe no idea. Maybe that's Hulk Hogan. I lost the ability to Xion again.
Yeah.
To use the Keyblade, and I have no idea why. I don't know what to do about it, about anything. It happened suddenly after Roxas woke up. If I can't collect hearts anymore, the organization has no use for me. This is terrible.
So does she only have the ability while Roxas was unconscious?
I think
thought they had it at the same time.
No,
for
yeah,
a bit.
she had it earlier before he fell unconscious.
Yeah.
I had some whole theory about how Sora was asleep, which meant that Roxas could use the key.
Yeah.
But Kairi, maybe it had gone into a coma, so she could use the Keyblade, but then had woken up and now she can't. But
yeah, no, she's been awakened.
Out.
She's been awakened normal the whole time.
Yeah, Kairi never was asleep.
Yeah.
Actually, she's been fine.
She's
the whole
been normal
time, really.
fine, yeah.
Because even in Kingdom Hearts 1, she just went back. Yeah, after Kingdom Hearts 1, she went back to her fucking life.
Well, that was the whole idea. Is Sora rescued her, but then he didn't
got
get
stuck,
on the right chunk of land. Yeah.
Yeah, he got stuck behind, and he accidentally spun off Roxas, and then went to Castle Oblivion while Riku was stuck with Mickey, and they went through their garbage and through Chain of Memories, and then threw back into this. There's a whole bunch of other shit. They all got separated. Honestly, I never got why Roxas was so crazy about Xion. I know they both joined up around the same time and they're both rookies, but how do you get close to somebody who hides their face all the time? Well, I saw it today. All of a sudden, number 14 up and takes off her hood. Xion is a girl, and she looks just like Namine.
I assume this is Axel.
This has got to be Axel, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, understandable because they were, hanging out together.
Yeah. Roxas has been coming along on my missions to help out since I can't use the Keyblade. Axel is covering for me, so I should be safe for now, but what am I going to do if I never get the Keyblade back? I can't lie forever.
It's just so irritating how obvious some of these are. Obvious, this is this person, that person, and other times you're I don't know.
You just run away. How the fuck are they going to find you?
The hearts collected by our 2 Keyblade wielders, Roxas and Xion, have gathered together, and now almighty Kingdom Hearts waxes large in the night sky. Our efforts have come to bear fruit, nearly ripe for the plucking. All plans proceed smoothly, alarmingly so. In fact, though this is no time to be deterred by paranoia.
This might actually be Xehanort.
This could be Xemnas, yeah.
Xehanort, Xemnas.
Xemnas, maybe Sayx. Could be one of the others, but probably not.
Yeah.
Neither Roxas or I have any memory of our human lives, this is Xion again. I don't even remember my first days as a nobody. Roxas said he was the same, but I'm not so sure. For me, it's a total blank. I can't even remember the day I met Roxas or Axel. It's all a blur.
Oh, that's a little weird.
Okay. Xion regained her ability to wield the Keyblade. I don't know how or why. Maybe there's more to the Keyblade Master they're not telling me about. I feel like I've been spending more time talking to Roxas and Xion lately than my old friend Sayx.
My old friend Sayx.
Were they actually
Friendship
friends?
with Sayx over. My new best friend is Roxas and Xion. This has to have been what it was like. Friendship. All right.
Ouch.
Every day it's work, work, work. I'm dead, but this is totally Demix.
Yes.
I'm
dead
bored.
His sitar.
And I'd kill for my... Oh, yeah. I didn't see that part yet.
Yeah.
Kill for some vacay. Nobody needs his rest, am I right? And when I get it, it's going to be nothing but me and my sitar. Sigh. Just going to fuck that
Wrote
sitar.
down the word sigh in your own journal entry.
Sooo Bored. Rox is maturing at an impressive rate. ugh. His face, the way he handles the Keyblade is all. It's just like a very off-putting sentence.
Yeah.
He's
face.
maturing so
We're in
fast.
the danger
Soon.
zone. We're in the danger zone of protagonist ages right now.
The way he handles the Keyblade, it's all exactly the same. The world seems so divided and alone, but there's always that steady thread there to connect them. And we nobodies can never escape the things we did as humans. So it goes.
No idea.
It could be anybody.
Axel.
No, I feel like this is maybe Saix.
This could be Saix. I don't know. I feel like
It's
this
just the
seems
fact
so
that
divided
saying-
and alone. Doesn't
I
seem
mean,
like much of a
the
Saix
talking
thing.
about the we can never escape the things we did as humans, like, I don't know, he seemed to actually have some awareness of his previous life.
yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Maybe.
Axel.
Because he talks about Leah or Lee or whatever
Lee,
for
yeah.
Axel's real name.
I think it's either Sykes or Axel would be my guess here.
Yeah, one or the
I
other.
could see that, yeah. Talking to Roxas and Xion always brings back memories of my
this is
human
Axel.
life. This is definitely
Yeah.
Axel, yeah. Back when I was a kid. It's a weird sensation. I ought to be able to share all this with Saix, but I just don't feel like it anymore. It's strange when I'm content with just missing what's gone.
It fucking turns out Axel is dog streets nobody.
Oh, man, that'd be great. I'm not the one who changed. You did. Ooh, we're getting some, like, sauce here. Jesus. I was going to say something and I totally forgot. Shit. It would be interesting if, because of, like, so Xion was built to sap Sora's memories and abilities and
be more controllable, I think, than the
through
nobody.
Roxas.
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder if it's possible that Xion could be pulling from other people, too. Is it possible that she could have been pulling from Axel also?
Well, we don't really know how a replicant affects a nobody.
Yeah. Like, just in general.
Yes. Like,
And, like, I assume she was tuned in some fashion to Sora or
Presumably,
whatever.
yeah, but I mean, if hanging out with Xion is also pulling back memories of Axel's past, then like
Right.
maybe replicants are just memory vampires.
Something.
Maybe
you
it's
can't
just a
absorb them.
friendish thing. Maybe it's just the friendship memory assistance. I don't know.
The friendship is pushing away the dark in the heart.
Oh, God.
The heart dark and the
Hearts and
friendship.
emotion. Fuck.
Yes.
Watching that foolish beast flail about only deepens my disdain for humans and their incessant need to be pinned down by feelings. We became nobodies precisely to avoid the shackles of emotion. It was only later that we realized the scale of that loss, that some things simply cannot be done without a heart. Nonetheless, I see nary a pleasant thing about it. This almost sounds like Xemnas, but it could be
Yeah.
Saix, I guess.
I can see either way, because Saix got mad at Axel for having feelings and making new friends.
Could be Zoldan, too. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
This is a
Again,
little
we're
bit
back
rough.
to that whole why the fuck did you
Yeah.
not just
I
put
mean,
goddamn names on
Solid
this?
Snake seemed pretty intense. Maybe that's him.
Oh, this is Xion. That man wearing the organization's coat, that jerk. He's too powerful. I can't beat him unless I get stronger. And I'm not a sham. I'm not. He is. He's the one pretending to be something that he isn't.
Poor
God.
girl.
Yeah.
As expected, the duplicate is starting to show its limits. The program showed promise, but a puppet is just a puppet, something to be toyed with until it breaks. I'm utterly at a loss as to what Roxas and Axel see in that thing.
This is
How best to
Saix.
dispose of it merits my consideration going forward. That seems like Saix, yeah. I wasn't ready to see Roxas again. I can't help but compare us. We both use the Keyblade, but we're so different, says Xion. Does he dream? It seems like that's all I do anymore. Last night I dreamt of the ocean. I was drowning. Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
That's bad. Roxas and Xion must have had it out over something. Knowing them, it's something dumb, but still. Watching them, it's like they're human. It's messing with my head. I wonder if Roxas understood all that about the wrong buttons. I get oh, God, we went back to that?
Yeah.
I get the sense that a lot of it went right over his head.
That's because it was dumb and stupid, Axel.
With
Yeah.
a woman, you have to push the right buttons.
Oh, my God.
Like
I got
the
my
like
hit
me
new
button.
I got my new hit single. Oh, God.
Yeah,
X-Face
damn
is always barking me to
X-Face.
work. But what's he expect me to do against a monster like that? So X-Face is not Xemnas. X-Face is
Solid
Saix, who has the
Snake.
X-Face.
Yeah, he's got a
No,
cra-
that is Saix.
Saix has an X-face, an X-shaped scar on
Yes,
his face.
Sex has a X-shape thing right on his face.
Yeah. I mean, stop and think about the skill sets when you divide up
Hope
the
I
labor
remember
already. Was this when we went to Olympus Coliseum? I don't even know. Xion failed to complete its mission. If this continues destroying it and using the next replica as the duplicate would undoubtedly yield a higher grade copy. Interesting. So they were going to using the next replica. So does that mean they have another spare, or they're referring to the Riku
Maybe
replica?
they were going to make a replica of her?
Well, I don't think they needed anything to make the replica, right? They just had the memories.
Yeah, initial lot.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like they did another batch.
Okay, so the first batch was
Number I is the fucking stupidest name I've ever
That's
heard.
really-
Also, in this context, it looks like no.
no.
I was among
I
the initial lot.
Yeah. Which naturally raises questions about its capabilities. At present, it is nothing short of broken. I cannot fathom why Xemnas would want to keep it. So this is probably Psyx again, but it's like, all right, so the initial lot was, I guess, Xion and the Riku replica.
Discount Riku, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess then they do have the capacity for more, which was the most interesting thing to me about 358/2, the reveal that the Riku replica wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
And not only is there a second, but there's the capacity for just more in general.
Make
like,
as many.
As long as they have Ice Guy or whatever,
well,
right?
he's dead now. He's dead.
Well,
by
then
the time
I guess
this
they
happens.
can't make more replicas.
Well, yeah, I
no,
mean,
that's what Axel was sent to do, was to retrieve that program and bring it back. So now they hypothetically have the ability to make more, and it's a question of, are they going to retcon and say, oh, before Xemnas died, he had a replica made of
himself.
Sure, right? Like,
Yeah.
Again, because we always have to fight fucking Xemnas at the end of one of these
right? This
games.
This is the first time that we don't fight any form of Ansem as any form of final boss. Because in Chain of Memories, Riku, I think, fights the, like, Ansem Darkness or something, doesn't he?
Oh,
I
Dark
think.
Ansem.
The Ansem
in Kingdom
Dark
1
and
and
the
2.
Heartlight.
Yeah, 1 we fight Ansem, and 2 we fight Xemnas, so... there has to be something to what Psyx said. Why isn't Xion qualified to be one of us? He said to just look at her, but at what? The fact that she looks just like Namine? Oh. I'm taking this as him commenting on her face looking like Namine, but what if Axel literally just sees her as Namine?
I mean, he
Like,
does
with
say
the white
she
hair
looks
and all.
exactly like Namine.
Yeah. Like, is it
So-
possible that when we're seeing her as Xion, that's not even entirely accurate to what he's seeing?
Well, I mean, they've already established that it's some kind of weird mental thing because, like, she looks like Roxas to other people
Yeah.
at various points in time, and like, so yeah, maybe Axel is seeing straight up Namine.
Yeah.
Like-
Xion and Namine must be connected, which they are-ish. They both came from Sora, technically.
I just like, there's definitely a pretty strong argument of like,
Oh, no, wait.
she looks exactly like.
They did, yeah, Namine is actually Kyrie's nobody, but they both came from the
Yes.
same... No, sorry. Roxas and Namine both came from the same event, which was when Sora briefly became a Heartless while holding both of their hearts.
Yes.
'cause
That
he was
spun
trying
off
to rescue
Roxas and Namine
yeah.
together.
Yes.
And Xion
and made them
is-
both just a little funky.
Yeah.
because-
Xion could very well be a copy of a nobody. So Xion could be a copy of Namine. Because again, Xion
I
has
would
all
believe-
those feelings about being at the ocean with Roxas, which, you know, ties
it's
back to like,
Kyrie and shit.
I'm
Well, the big-
Kyrie, he's Sora.
Well, the big reveal from the end of this ultimately is that Xion isn't Kyrie. Xion is Sora, essentially. It's
Xion,
Sora's
yeah.
memories of Kyrie given a face,
Oh, okay. That
which is why at the
Yeah.
end
Which
the
is
big
why she
reveal
looks
is...
so much like both Kyrie and Namine is because
Well, especially right
know.
before the final confrontation that we didn't get to see in the movie, which sucked, was her going, we're lifting off the hood and going, I don't look like I used to you anymore, do I? I look like that boy. That's
we
because
saw
I'm
that.
finally
We did
yeah.
see that bit.
Right,
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
that was
like,
so
We
weird.
saw that. There was a confrontation. There was a literal like fight. The final boss
Yeah,
fight
yes,
happened
yes,
between those
which I
scenes,
think
but
was, you know.
But like she looks like Sora because now it's like the reveal that like Xion is built to ultimately replace Sora and Roxas, basically.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
I
she
mean,
was
get by
literally
absorbing.
absorbing them. Yeah.
There's a lot. This is so dense.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I would have liked 358/2 to be a full expanded game just because there's a lot happening here and stretching it out. Like the way we did on the 3DS was fine. I would have liked if they remade it like the rest of these, but I find myself envying the children. Perhaps some fundamental difference exists between those who become nobodies as adults and otherwise. The longer you've lived, the more you are positioned to lose with such a gamble. This is Daddy
Hulk
Gambles.
Hogan.
Yeah.
Daddy
The more you are,
Campbell's.
the more you're positioned to lose with such a gamble. But the child can look forward, unafraid even in the face of immeasurable odds. I doubt they even see life as a gamble the way we do. Good Lord, did you use gamble 3 times
Yep.
in one diary
Yeah,
entry?
you know it's on his
See,
mind.
this is the like they were like, we don't have to put names in. We'll just make it super obvious.
Good
Did
Lord.
Hulk Hogan become a nobody because of a gambling debt?
I hope so.
Probably.
He got. You know, he was so good at counting cards that the casino executed him, and then he became a nobody. Xion continues to sleep. All analysis on its function suggests no marked change. The copying appears to be working, but a replica is a replica. My latest report to Xemnas on this netted me no clear answers. He simply stood smiling. At times I find his thinking impenetrable. I think any of
Psyx.
this is definitely Psyx. Any like
Yes.
really rigid structured diary entries are pretty much Psyx.
Psyx.
I finally wake up just to pass out again? Why? Because I'm a failure? I dreamt the whole time I was out. It was something nostalgic, but what? Why can't I remember? It could be a key memory from my human life. All I can remember is the sound of waves,
I
gentle in
dreamt
distance.
the whole while I was out.
The whole, like, while can be a noun.
Yeah, like
It's
this
tricky to
long
use,
while
But yeah,
or
the
something.
whole while when I was out.
Yes.
There's a missing word.
Well, sort of. When can be implied in part of that phrase. It's a really
It's a slightly
stupid way
awkward
to,
phrasing, yes.
like,
but
yeah,
it's technically the viable.
It was when we went to the store. It was we went to the store.
Well, no, it depends.
I don't think when can
It's
be an
not
interpreted
always.
word like that.
I dreamt the whole while I was out.
You could say the whole time I was out.
Yeah, it's your.
Because that'd be the same thing.
I guess. I don't know. It reads so strangely to me.
To me,
I went to the
It is
supermarket, but I was
grammatically-
itchy the whole time I was there. You know.
Yeah,
Like, it's the
yeah.
same
I was
idea,
I was
but-
itchy the whole time while I was there. Like they're just like skipping. It's technically allowed.
I think grammatically it's the word that, and the word that specifically can get skipped, and I think that's how it's where it is a clunky fucking sentence though. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never see the word replica again. Why? Why would you think that?
Okay.
Any rational man would realize the Riku replica was not likely unique, but I'm the only one in the organization who knew of its exceptional copying functionality. Wait, who is this? And that he ultimately formed a sense of self. This is Axel. The fact that I knew all that and still never noticed the truth about Xion speaks to how remarkable a replica she must be. But my questions remain unanswered. Who is she a replica of? Namine, Kairi, or perhaps someone entirely different? Why did the organization admit her into its membership, and why would such a fine replica fall unconscious or sporadically lose command of the Keyblade? So that's a good point.
Good question.
That's a really good point. Is that the Riku replica began displaying like actual sentience and self-awareness by the end, and had a sense of self. And Axel's the only one alive who was aware of that, so he must have realized the more Xion tried to gain an identity and tried to be a person, that's when he started to shrink back and be more uncomfortable with what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was like, wait a minute. Oh, this is that thing.
Yeah.
This is not supposed to happen, but it is.
We're ahead a month again. Even if Xion is a replica, a puppet, she's still Xion. I understand that in my head, as Axel again.
Yeah.
But how do I interact with her now? Riku replica was just a tool, but I can't just use Xion. No, I was wrong to have just used Riku replica in the first place. How is a man-made puppet any less worthy than a nobody that was never meant to exist at all?
Yeah.
He's having all this
Fair
soul
point.
searching.
Yeah. So he's saying is it right for us to use this replica if we really shouldn't be in the first place either?
Nobodies have no emotion and lack introspection.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
Here's 75 pages of introspection and emotion.
They're both ambiguous, tenuous at best, and she's my friend. Even if neither of us should exist, that doesn't invalidate the bonds we form. Next break we get, I told her we'd all go to the beach. I hope we get the chance, our little summer vacation. I know if we can get together and laugh about stupid stuff, the nagging doubt will go away.
Man, I can't believe we never got the beach arc.
Ah, man. My body feels heavy and my head aches. I'm too busy dreaming to get any rest from sleep. Axel knows something. He's hiding some secret. It must be in Castle Oblivion. That's where I was born.
This is when Xion is like, I don't trust you anymore, Axel. You're a butt.
She
And
just
Axel's
randomly,
like, wait, no, I kind of love you all.
She just randomly realized, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like something is up.
I was born in Castle Oblivion.
Well, she has memories of that. She talks about that a couple times.
Yeah, it's like the one memory she's got.
Like, I've got a vague memory of being
I
in
think
Castle
Zemnis leading her out
Oblivion
or
and
something.
yeah.
This is the first thing she remembers, maybe?
I think it's like the
It's
first
like,
memory,
Sayx walking her through the hall or whatever.
Xion's appearance should vary based on the relation of the viewer to her. Sayx sees her simply as a puppet. The program approaches completion.
Oh, weird.
Through Roxas, Xion is assembling a copy of the hero of the Keyblade. As proof, she sometimes appears to take on his form to my eyes.
Oh, this might be Zemnis.
This might be Axel.
No, I mean, there was
No,
also
'cause Axel
what was it? It was Solid Snake guy fought her and saw Roxas.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
It could be one of them.
Because Axel kept seeing her as Namine.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think that changed.
Yeah, so I don't think Axel's ever seen her as anything but Namine.
Maybe the idea is specifically it's whoever you have the strongest emotional connection to. So Roxas by virtue of being Sora's memories taken shape, sees her as kind of a distorted version of Kairi. Yeah. And then Axel had more of a connection with Namine, I guess. Though it could have been
from
Sayx,
Chain of
too.
Memories, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's still a little confusing in that form, but it's interesting that we're getting them acknowledging that they're aware of it at least.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Xion's disappearance is fascinating. If she really is breaking from our control, it's a sign of her approaching the essence of the hero. Oh, that's an interesting way of putting that too. Is that Sora wouldn't go along with this?
Her trying to get away.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems Sayx still doesn't truly see her.
Kairi also wouldn't go along with that.
Yes. Yeah, that's true too. So it could be her. It could be her getting sort of self.
It's just her getting self-aware in general, which is, I think, is what they want, right?
If you control C, control P, either of those two people, eventually it's going to emerge that they're like good, heroic people.
Yeah, and they're not going to sit idly by and like just do nothing.
Also self-preservation.
Yeah, that too.
Well.
I'm curious to know how she appears to the others. I see her as him, though I suspect that Xemnas sees something else entirely in her. This is definitely one of the dark-haired guys as well.
He only sees him as Sora.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either sees him as Sora or as Roxas.
It's very strange that he refers. This person refers to Xion as her.
Yeah.
And then I see her as him.
Yep.
Like
him,
what?
Presumably meaning Sora.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But also, though I suspect that Xemnas sees something else entirely in her, I'm curious what Xemnas sees in Xion.
Yeah, like he doesn't see Sora? That would have been my guess.
Axel is very poignant by referring to her as a mirror, and that they're seeing something.
I was actually about to say that maybe Xemnas sees himself.
Maybe Xemnas sees real Ansem.
I mean,
yeah.
it's like Xemnas' salvation. I want a heart. This puppet is how I get that heart.
Oh, I can see that being a thing too.
So
yeah.
like it's your desire or whatever you're most connected, whatever you most care about.
We're gonna find out that the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, when it shows up inevitably somewhere down the line, is also a replica. It's a replica of a compass, and it shows you the direction to whatever you need to salvate yourself.
Your heart.
Salvate yourself.
That's right. You heard it. That's interesting, though. Yeah, I want it to be like not Naminé's, Xion's body with Mickey's face.
Yeah. No, Xemnas just sees Goofy.
Oh my god.
I want to be Goofy.
The air is charged. I can feel it. You go out on a big gamble at at times like this, and you're gonna lose big. It's in the cards. The title of the fucking thing too.
Yeah.
That said, it's betting against the worst odds that nets the biggest win. I'm eager to see how this hand plays out. They could not have had a higher density of fucking
gambling
card
references.
Gambling fucking terms. This is also a meaningless diary entry. I just want to say,
correct.
Nothing is being said here.
It does. I guess
basically him being aware of the problem.
Well,
right?
it characterizes Hulk Hogan a little bit in that like he's scared, but at the same time he's like, this could be the big payoff.
Yeah,
you got to take risk to win.
Yeah.
Xion is gone. Roxas doesn't know anything, but Xion found out. That's why I need to find her. We don't have hearts,
Axel.
so we accept the facts we're given as the truth. That's okay.
Yeah.
But something far more important lies behind that truth. Sykes would laugh at people with no hearts calling one another friends, but that doesn't make it not so. As the nobody of the hero of the key.
What?
As the nobody of the hero. So the nobody
Keyblade.
of the hero of the Keyblade and the replica of that nobody, the two are special. So the replica of that nobody. So strictly speaking, Xion is a replica of
Roxas.
Of
That's
Roxas.
what I was thinking. Okay.
That's
the
doubly
only thing
confusing.
they had available to replicate, right? They don't have access to Sora. They don't have access to Kairi. What else were they going to replicate off of?
Maybe that's why he doesn't have diary entries for his first 6 days, and we don't see him until day 7. The first 6 days were spent studying and making a replica of him, and they just went, memory, gone. Use Naminé or something and be like, just take those first 6 days and just pluck them back out. Like, he doesn't have those. Maybe by the end of this, someone's going to mention those first 6 days were really tough to make that replica out of him or something.
All we did was ask him questions all day.
Because we don't see both either in the game or in these diary entries. We see nothing until day 7.
Maybe he just wasn't even conscious for those
first
few days,
entirely
right?
possible. As those two are special, unique in every sense of the word, but that doesn't change the fact that we're friends. Nothing will. Got it memorized, Xion?
So you know that
except he was such a dick cheese to her in real life during this.
Yeah, I think he was conflicted over it. Like, as conflicted as he was about telling Roxas the truth, with Xion, it's like way more important that people know, and he's trying to like keep it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. I don't know. Like, I feel like diary entry Axel and real life Axel kind of did different things.
Yeah, for sure.
Axel's a wild card by definition.
I mean, that's fair.
Axel and Roxas are up to something. No plot they concoct will change the fact the organization has cast off Xion, though. Our plans have split, diverged, and advanced now to the next stage. The Number I project and Replica program merely paved the way. Our true goals lie elsewhere, so we're getting into like stage 2 terms here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who would they think to? It's got to be that they were. I have to imagine they were planning to replicate Xemnas just in case, because Ansem's dead by this point, and in fact his essence has been sucked into Riku, which makes it even more damaging to them, because Riku now kind of has that form for living in the darkness.
Yeah.
So, like, Xemnas must be in panic mode going, we got to make a replica fast.
Mm-hmm. We need more guns.
Yeah, we need more Xehanorts, quick. None of us really know everything that's going on in Castle Oblivion. Or maybe they're trying to replicate the original Xehanort. Maybe Xehanort looked nothing like Bad Ansem and Xemnas.
It's true. I guess we've never
only ever seen Ansem.
Yeah, we've never seen an original Xehanort form. Goofy as Xehanort.
Oh,
I knew
no. Foigox. Whatever the fuck we...
Yeah.
Yeah, Fugax or whatever it was.
Goofix. None of us really know everything that's going on in Castle Oblivion. Nothing's going on in Castle Oblivion. That was literally 8 months ago by the time this happens. Yeah. So, some rooms even Xemnas doesn't know about.
They were still, like, searching for, like, the secret area where, like, because that's where Sora's getting his memories pieced back together, right?
Who built Castle Oblivion? I thought the organization did.
I thought it was Ansem the Wise.
Maybe it was Ansem the Wise, yeah.
Oh, actually, maybe
because he's working on all the programming and shit in the basement. So I assume
that's the mansion, though.
Diz, but
that's not Castle Oblivion, though. That's just the mansion.
Aren't they, like, weird and interconnected?
They're loosely, but they're not the same place.
I feel like there's I don't know. They talk about going to Castle Oblivion a bunch, but then, like...
I mean, I guess it's possible that Castle Oblivion is a natural formation in the world.
Maybe. It does, like... It looks a lot like the world that never was, too.
Sure.
The world that never was looks like someone took Castle Oblivion and, like, genetically crossbred it with the symbol of the nobodies.
Yeah.
And just, it got all jaggy and weird.
Oh, my God. The world that never was is the nobody of Castle Oblivion.
Oh, God, it kind of fucking is. Oh, God.
Probably the actual real answer.
That's literally
and
probably what they're aiming for.
You know what? It's hilarious. If
does that mean,
is true, then the compass thing that you were joking about could literally also be true, because if inanimate objects can also have nobodies, like...
Oh, no.
I'm going to pretend I never had that thought.
Oh, my God. Not many are even aware that Xion was born there. I wonder if the truth about that place will ever surface. This might be Axel, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could go a couple ways.
Knowing that Xion was born there, like, only a few people even knew that, and Axel's one of them, so... Yeah. The man they're calling the imposter, that fake organization member, it's Riku.
No.
Whoa! Roxas could very well remember that somewhere deep in his memories. This has to be Axel, I guess.
This has to be Axel, yeah.
Still, it's too soon to report this. I need to know why Xion was with him first. If she's siding with the hero, it could easily mean her erasure. Erasure or erasure? I think I've heard both.
It's erasure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that's just a pronunciation question.
What are you planning to do, Xion?
I believe in British English, it's erasure.
Okay.
Eraser. But I think Americans say erasure.
Erasure.
A lot more.
All right. Axel failed to report that the imposter and Xion are working together. Fuck. Like, that was literally the next day.
Yeah.
Instead, that news came from Roxas. Oh, right. Yeah, fair enough. The boy is far more easily handled than Axel, but now Axel has captured Xion and returned her to us. His motives are impossible to read. Our plans can be altered if necessary, but doing so can only delay their realization. We still don't entirely really get what Axel's drive is throughout Chain of Memories and 358/2 and Kingdom Hearts 2.
He's like a Pathfinder NPC where at the beginning of every day he rolls a d20 to see what his motivation is.
It almost seems like
it's like he cares most about friendship and stuff, but then he also doesn't want to, like, reveal the fact that he's caring.
I think at some point he realized that Xemnas was full of shit. That he's like, he has no intention of giving them hearts to give them back their lives, and he's like, well, I'm going to use my position in the organization to get shit done and try to get my heart back some other way.
I think Axel realized very early on that, like, the priority was not any of the other organization members.
No, it was Xemnas and his quest for glory and to obtain Kingdom Hearts, and that was
exactly.
Anything else that happens, like, who cares, whatever.
Yes.
This is all right.
The lie was, we'll all get our hearts back, and it'll all be great, you guys.
That was the tool that was needed. That was the rope to keep dragging them along.
I mean, when he was like, "Yo, go murder half the organization," maybe that was a clue.
Yeah, where he's like, "I don't give a shit. You're all gonna die. Fuck it." Like,
who? Xenoquat?
Yeah.
What? Whoever this person, I don't give a shit about them.
It's the nobody of a kumquat I ate, and it tasted terrible.
Xenoquat.
All right. Roxas doesn't trust me after the whole Xion incident, but I can't tell him the truth yet, so I keep lying. It's no big deal when you're a nobody. There's no guilt, no feeling at all. So why does it still sting just a little when I lie to him? That's guilt.
That's called guilt. Yeah.
Feelings at all.
Because you're not no. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Ansem lied to you.
All my dealings with Roxas give me this bizarre illusion of humanity.
I need like a few rules in this video game series. Like I'm not
seriously.
I don't need like a flow chart or like a whole structural skeleton. I just need a couple of rules.
Yeah,
no, I think it's the whole no guilt, no feeling, nobody blah, blah. That's just the Xemnas lie to control the cult, right? Xemnas lied to them all and said, "You're nobodies. You lost your heart to the darkness that became a Heartless. So therefore you can't feel. But don't worry, I have a plan so we can get all of our hearts back and we can be real people again.
Them.
You just have to do everything I tell you."
How completely fucked would it be? I
that's
doubt,
how I see it.
I doubt they would go this far with it, but how fucked would it be if the entire notion of nobodies was completely falsified up to this point?
Oh, and that's just
to like screw and like essentially to enslave this group of 13 people.
Yeah.
I doubt that's the case, but that would be a wild direction for them to suddenly go with it, where it's like, oh yeah, nobodies are just people. There's just a second person.
Yes. Or you've lost.
I mean, that would make sense.
You've lost like some part of you that makes you human, but you can just rebuild it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can have another heart again. You just have to form emotional bonds, and by intentionally stunting their ability to do that,
telling
he knows that they stay loyal.
Telling
to
them that they have no feelings. Which
fully into headcanon territory that I don't think they'd ever actually do.
Which would then beg the question, does Xehanort, is he incapable of having friends and forming bonds and getting a heart that way?
He's just so sociopathic by it.
Or does he just want Kingdom Hearts because power?
I think he just wants Kingdom Hearts because that's he's had this weird goal all along.
Yeah. I mean, it's what drove him to impersonate Ansem in the first place.
It's what he basically killed Ansem, at least as far as he knew he was doing, more or less.
I still fully don't understand what the good thing about having Kingdom Hearts is. Like, do you put all the hearts in your body and then you become a Kefka god?
I think that's the idea. You become godlike, or you essentially can control everyone because you're connected to the emotional core of existence or something. I don't know. It's still kind of unclear.
You might also have control over all of space and time because
this is the dangerous.
Unlocking a world's heart was kind of a big deal in the game one.
Well, the dangerous thing about building up a MacGuffin is if you do it for too long, the reveal will never be good enough.
Yeah.
You have to. This game and Kingdom Hearts 2 literally make it this massive, unmissable moon in the sky.
Yes. And it can't.
Yes, and it's heart shaped and it's weird.
And it can't just be that it lets you control nobodies or Heartless because the people have already shown some degree of control over them.
On
they're
both
kind
sides.
Of natural force when they're like the Gimpuses and little goobies of nobodies.
The organization seems pretty adept at controlling general Dusks, and Maleficent had no real issue controlling Heartless.
Just fucking summon
Maleficent
them.
had a huge fucking army
until they did rebel against her at some point.
Did they?
Right?
I thought
I thought there was a period where Maleficent was like.
I think once she was defeated, she lost her hold over the Heartless.
Oh, okay.
And that was the problem. Her and Pete were trying to rebuild, but they were having trouble.
Something else back.
Yeah.
And then by the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, they still hadn't achieved it, and the nobodies were advancing, and so they were like, "Look, you know what? You go ahead. These guys fucked with our plans, so we're just gonna destroy them."
We have a massive, massive grudge against them.
This weird anti-villain moment from Maleficent.
Yeah.
Maleficent is one of the few Disney villains that is unquestionably evil in the animated versions, at the very least.
But she's lawful evil. Maleficent
she has
is
a
an evil
stringent,
queen.
yes.
She operates in a set of rules and power structure, and I
Kingdom
feel like
Hearts
Maleficent
1 was so
like,
good.
I'm not the most powerful, and I don't have any control here, so I'm just gonna find the next best position and put myself there.
And then when I get a chance, we're gonna step it back up again.
Yeah, that's classic lawful evil.
Kingdom Hearts 1 did such a good job with being all like, we have this evil Disney villains doing their plot, and it's sensible and it all holds together and is coherent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember when the Princesses of the Heart was a thing?
Princesses of the Heart, yes. And
I don't know if I guess that storyline is functionally closed. That was a closed arc for one.
You guys don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. I also have intentionally not watched a thing.
I just
specifically stayed away from it.
I would basically need to sit down and
maybe
convince myself to give a shit about all of the games again.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the purpose of this is, too, is
what I've heard is that you can go from Kingdom Hearts 2 to Kingdom Hearts 3 without missing that much.
Which is nuts to me with how many fucking games there are between that.
Yes, because they didn't write a story. They wrote a bullet point list.
Which makes me angry, and that's why I don't really give a shit anymore.
Where sections
to be dead honest.
sections were entitled TBA.
Yeah, fill that in with a story and then went, all right.
Xemnas motivation. TBA.
Yeah. Well, that's what and that's
like,
the Dark Road
Kingdom
game.
Hearts 1 was like a fucking coherent thing. Everybody's like motivations and stuff made sense. Like
It's like
they all hang together.
Star Wars original trilogy versus the most modern one. It's the original one had a tight, focused little cast with a vision and an adventure that was like laser focused, and the newest ones are like,
well, literally the second
everyone
game
is
was
doing everything, and
well, the second game that they released was Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, and it introduces the organization, but only half of them.
They do it in a very clean way. I feel like in Chain of Memories, I don't get frustrated about. Kingdom Hearts 2 is where I'm like, okay, but
it was
what
a
did you
strong
guys
detachment,
do?
I think, between the story and the gameplay, where like the main story was this skeleton, and the ribs on the outside were all the actual levels that didn't really swing back in at the end.
I mean, it speaks to your point about writing yourself into a corner with the MacGuffin getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, well,
how do we
it can't
incorporate
just be
this?
because he was hungry.
Yeah.
Or he was mad that day.
It's got to be
now.
way
It's got to be
involved,
like he's an alternate universe god who was ungodded.
Yep.
And then
a thing.
Yeah, and then we'll figure the rest out in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, we'll deal with it later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going, I guess.
Yeah, we're close.
300. This was Shutdown was the name of this day, and I
This
think
is
that was
Xion.
that was the day that they all went to because the fight happened, but this was the day they went and like had ice cream together, and then the next day it's like, hey, why did you fight? And like, why did we hang out and have ice cream yesterday?
Yeah, I don't think they said anything together. They just did it out of habit, going and having ice cream.
Yeah. In fact, we watched the sunset today, the three of us. I didn't think we'd ever be able to do that again. It's like that dream I had, the one where I was by the shore with Roxas and Axel watching the sunset over the water. Okay, we at least get confirmation that sequence was Xion dreaming, not Roxas dreaming, not Roxas imagining. It was a dream by Xion.
Yes.
Okay.
I hate how vague they keep some of this shit.
That sequence was tough because it seemed like we were flipping perspectives between Roxas and Xion, and we don't even know if there was a mission there. It was confusing. Xion is burning through missions at full tilt. She seems frantic. Why, I don't know. And speaking of, I still don't know what to say to Roxas.
Having an emotional crisis, that's why.
Yeah. Even without my orders from Syx, I'd do anything to stop Roxas from being erased. I just don't know if I can stand by and let that happen to Xion either. That's Axel, obviously.
Yeah, duh.
Axel's always helped me out, so I just assumed he would again.
Yeah.
Axel's just like, man, Axel's always got my back.
He's always helped me out.
How long's he known about me? Maybe since long before we met in Castle Oblivion. But he told me to think for myself. I was so happy, but now as I get stronger, Roxas keeps getting weaker. I shouldn't exist anymore. They say that nobodies were never meant to exist, but I'm the real affront. That's an interesting one to drop in there.
She is a very different kind of thing. That's
fair.
for
sure. Well, because she's, strictly speaking, she's not a nobody.
Right.
She's a replica. She just doesn't know it.
She's a double nobody.
Yeah, she's a replica of a nobody.
She's a somebody?
Yeah, I guess so, right? But before I'm gone, I want to help Roxas and Axel, even just a little. I think the boy I saw today is the same Sora from my memories. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
But be they a puppet or the hero's nobody, we merely need a functional Keyblade master. The details are unimportant.
Right.
The puppet has developed to a point where the hero of the Keyblade may be entirely redundant.
Which was part of the plan from the original get-go with Xion.
Yeah. It was like, if we can replace Roxas, perfect. If we can replace Sora, even better.
Well, if we can suck out all of Sora's abilities and powers and put it into a puppet that is ultimately under our control, that's what you want.
That's the ideal.
You don't want
win.
a Sora copy who might start acting Sora-like.
And have, opinions.
Yeah, you want some weird double ripoff to hopefully get a barrier in between those. But again, it didn't work.
It's kind of interesting because earlier on, I think it was Axel that said the Keyblade Master is not our enemy. Because he had been reading through the replica.
It's been flipping through,
Yeah, he was flipping through the replica stuff. Kind of got a sense of what's actually going on. Is like the Keyblade Master is not our enemy.
He's never actually directly attacked us or been like, my goal is to fucking kill all of you.
Yeah, he's like,
just been like, I'm trying to do my thing.
Yeah,
the closest has been like the fights with Xemnas.
Yeah,
those are kind of started all of those.
Yeah,
exactly.
Xemnas is a dickhead. We can agree on that.
All right. Riku gave me this time. What? Riku gave me this time. Axel told me to spend it thinking for myself.
Right, because remember Xion and Axel, Riku was all like, Xion was like, is it time for me to go? And Riku was like, you can have some more time.
Yeah, you can have another, you can have 6 more days.
Axel told me to spend a thing for myself.
Actually,
the organization,
exactly, yeah.
The organization is determined to erase either me or Roxas. They'll never allow us to coexist. I love Roxas and Axel. I'm sure Syx would scoff at that, call it a trick of my artificial memories. But the time I spent on that clock tower was real.
Yeah, it was.
I wish the three of us could stay together just like this forever. But I have to end this. I'll never forget today's sunset. Even if Roxas and Axel do, I won't forget.
See,
except she will, because she's like a weird dead memory.
Well,
club.
You know what I love / super bugs me?
This'll be cool.
Yeah, it's both sides.
Yeah.
Buried in this massive complex, unintelligible, ridiculous, vague plot, even just involving this side game that fills in more massive, ridiculous plot for other games.
Is the much more interesting story of Xion.
Xion, Axel, and Roxas
yes.
are all people, effectively, that shouldn't exist. And it's a heart-wrenching...
For 3 totally different reasons, in fact.
It's a heart-wrenching story for them to all realize that, like, oh man, I don't really have a future. And not only that, that their emotions, their core, the people they were copied from, give them these morals and values that they all come to realize on their own. Fuck, I shouldn't exist, and I know I shouldn't exist.
And I know my existence is harming others.
Yes, and this is bad, and my morality says that I shouldn't fight to keep existing because I'm fucking things up for everything else. And this, buried in all this is this really heartbreaking thing of these people having these crises, being all these things oh, I'm not real, but in this case these people really aren't real. All of their things are artificial, all their memories, they have all of these connections they've forged, but in the end it's all nothing. And this begging, I wish we could just sit on the clock tower and eat ice cream. I don't give a shit about Organization 13.
I just want to be a person with my friends.
I don't give a shit about Sora, the Keyblade, Goofy, Mickey. I don't care.
The most depressing thing to me, I mean, maybe not the most depressing, the one that bums me out the most, I think, from the entire series so far, with the new information that 358/2 gives us, is you kind of understand that Xion really has to die, and you understand that Roxas functionally has to die.
Yes,
Axel isn't necessitated. His death is not a necessary thing that has to happen.
To die,
Yes, but we also don't know what Axel did before he was nobodied.
Yeah. And we don't know who he is.
One of the few things we know about the organization members who were nobodied is that they did so to escape emotional turmoil or bad decisions or guilt or the weight of their previous lives.
Yep.
So what did Axel do in his previous life? That
drove
caused
him
to be I ripped my... It's like that movie with Ashton Kutcher, I think, or something. The Butterfly Effect, where he erases memories from his
He undoes the course of time by going back, changing. He thinks really hard about an event from his past. He goes back to it, and then he changes it, and his entire life from that point forward is different.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. It's the one where he erases his own memories of a past breakup where he was in love with this person and it was a tragic end, and starts Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's Eternal Sunshine.
Yes.
That's Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's the idea that there's such deep emotional turmoil that the character was literally functionally unable to continue with life.
Yeah.
So they just erased a bunch of memory, and he woke up the next morning and was like, huh,
yep.
I don't have any guilt or any things, but also I feel empty inside.
Something feels wrong. I'm missing pages from my diary, and for some reason I skipped work today, which I don't do.
Yes.
To go to a place I don't remember ever being, and this weird person is also here.
Yeah. So I mean... Not to get too far in a tangent, but this is my core experience with Kingdom Hearts, where I'm like, wow, what a great thread, and then it's buried under 2 sweaters.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to play 100 hours of gameplay to reach a point where you can understand this. Which I mean,
and I know voice acting is expensive, but fuck, you could have had this in a conversation or something. Or...
True. There's also an element of this is the reward. This is sort of a reward of that as you start to actually uncover real depth in these otherwise shallow characters.
Yeah.
Not that Roxas, Axel, or Xion are
That's
shallow
the ship
characters.
name, baby. It's okay.
Oh, no.
Roxel. Well, I mean,
Roxel or Axis.
Xion even said that I love Roxas and Axel.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a thruple going on there.
Oh boy,
they definitely have a thruple going on.
Raxion.
Okay.
They've got a clock tower thruple.
Yep. Oh my God!
The ice cream wasn't the only thing they were eating.
Oh God! They all get winter sticks today.
Also
Oh God! With that, let's keep moving.
Yeah, day 353. Anyway.
I couldn't tell she was wrong, and I can't bring myself to end her. But it's either that or I have to erase Roxas. There's no future where the 3 of us can sit around and eat ice cream. Yeah. I know Roxas will never understand. I don't want to acknowledge it myself.
This is tragic and heartbreaking.
Yeah, Axel is now stuck in this position where he is responsible for ending at least one of his 2 best friends.
It's like that moment where the person realizes, this bomb won't go off unless I physically push the button. So my life is over right now.
Yeah, it's over, and I'm sitting here experiencing like I'm here for the last bits.
I've got another 10 minutes to basically be dead.
Yep. I wanted to see Roxas one more time, but couldn't. What would I say? Did I ever really exist? Even if not, I just hope that those times we spent watching the sunset were real. I know Naminé will tell me how to get back where I belong. I should hurry to see her. There's a little... They do an interesting job between the end of this game and also the end of Kingdom Hearts 2 when you see Roxas and Naminé show up from out of Sora and Kairi.
Yeah, like the memory versions
where the
of
possibility that they live on in some way in a spiritual sort of sense within them.
There isn't a consciousness that's living inside of Sora, but
did Sora ever connect to any of Roxas's memories? I thought he did once or twice.
Yeah, he reabsorbed him.
But does he remember anything Roxas
remembering
remembers?
of Roxas's memories? And
I don't think
there
he
were
does.
a couple sequences.
I
could be remembering
I could have
wrong.
sworn that he remembered a couple things about Organization 13.
He might have remembered.
I was thinking like he had like flashes of like sitting on the clock tower with Axel or something.
No, the only flashes that we got were one at the beginning.
I think
one at the beginning.
I think
when
that
we
was
played as
Roxas
Roxas.
reflecting Sora's memories
reflecting his earlier memories back when he wasn't doing
at
his
the beginning of the game.
thing.
We got one when we played as Roxas, we got his perspective and him on the tower.
That was when he was in the simulation.
Yep.
Right.
And then at the end of the game, around the point of our fight with Roxas, we see Roxas having a conversation that I don't think actually happened, but it's him going back to like his happy place, essentially.
Yes.
For like that last bit of peace
because
before
he realizes
goes.
He's going to be absorbed and cease to exist.
Yeah, he's about to die functionally. So he goes back and he has a little in his head conversation
Axel,
with the clock tower with Axel, where they. It's sort of the thing where like
the only place they ever felt like humans.
Yeah. Well, it's also a trope in a lot of media either in a dream or when you're about to die, where like you're doing a thing and all of a sudden the facade drops and like I think Axel literally even says like, so time is up, right? Like one of the things where like you're like, oh, you're in a dream or whatever, and you're at a birthday party, and then suddenly Aunt Mildred looks over and goes, it's like you have to deal with your drinking problem. It's like, whoa, Jesus, wait. And it's like, I'm 7.
All
no,
right,
I'm
Johnny,
not.
It's time to go to home or something.
Yeah.
And it's like home is death.
Yeah, it's like that kind of a thing. But I think those were the only 2 flashes we got. I don't remember if Sora got flashes of Roxas, though. That's a really good point.
He okay, maybe I was thinking of the
Well, no,
the
but he
other
might
ones.
have, though. That's a good point.
I can't remember.
I don't either, yeah. We need memories of our own nobodies to help us.
This is my frustration here again. Like, it's the whole, like, yes, there's all this complex, interconnected things, and yes, there's all these details I can put together.
The volume
but all of
of
this
it
requires me to fucking plate it in the same, like,
also
2 days.
Like 1 month of obsessively playing every single game.
But there's still missing links, though. Even if you obsessively played every game, there's missing links on functional levels. Not like, I wonder what happened to Roxas when he got reabsorbed.
Right.
Like, this is just exigent questions about the world and what nobodies actually are.
Oh my God.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's lots of questions.
Yes.
All right, we're almost
let's
there.
Keep going.
3:55.
Yeah. The gears of Xemnas' plan have begun to spin wild since the loss of half our membership at Castle Oblivion.
That was like 100 days ago.
That was like 300 days ago. The results are there, but can this state of affairs fairly be called a success? If Kingdom Hearts can be said to possess a mind of its own, it is surely rejecting Xemnas. No, rejecting Xehanort.
Oh.
Roxas left the organization today.
Just as a quick note at the end.
Is this Syx?
Yeah, who is this?
This might be Syx.
I would assume
and they know that Xemnas is Xehanort? I didn't think they knew that.
I would be surprised. Well, the only one who would know.
His 6 apprentices from the beginning would know.
I suppose that's true.
Most of them are dead. A lot of them went to Castle Oblivion.
To my mind, Syx is the only one who would reasonably know that Xemnas could be Xehanort because he's kind of been the right-hand man.
Yeah. Which is odd
because
he has higher ranking members still alive. Like I think Zaldin and
maybe it's based on fighting ability.
Maybe, yeah. It could be totally arbitrary, too. I don't know. Our plans never accounted for the possibility of both Xion and Roxas leaving. How did this come to pass? When did Roxas grow strong enough to outmuscle me? What were you really after, Lee? Ooh, all right, so this is Syx.
So
this is Syx after Roxas beat him up to leave the world that never was.
Oh, shit.
Which doesn't even happen in the movie version at all, which is kind of a big missing thing.
Yeah.
Because you fight Syx, and then you get the cutscene of him walking out and Axel going, "You can't leave the organization; they'll kill you." Like that comes after a fight directly with Cyax, and the movie doesn't even acknowledge
They
that
skip a lot
happened.
of shit that they shouldn't. But I also think this is the stuff that's more interesting here. What were you really after, Lee? We joined the organization at the same time and formulated our plan. At this
Ooh.
point, it's just an idle fantasy. Everything changed.
So,
you and me.
interesting.
They joined together
So
with a plan.
They were 6 and 7, which means that they were 2 of the 6 apprentices of Xehanort.
I mean, if
Oh.
the numbers go
If the numbers
Yeah.
work
along,
out that
yes,
way.
like if it's just chronological.
But also being if that is the case, if they're 2 of the 6, they would be the lowest ranked of the 6, which also
Sure.
means I don't want to get too dark with this and maybe a mild trigger warning or something, but could there have been essentially a nobody-esque suicide pact among the apprentices? Basically, like, turn yourselves into nobodies and join me and we will form Kingdom Hearts and yada yada.
I mean, I
Absolve your
assume that's
sins in
kind
the-
of what's going on in
it's-
many ways, because
it's a cultish, like you've been saying a bunch. This feels very
Yeah.
much like a cult, both in indoctrination and the goals and stuff. And becoming a nobody could be that like ascension phase,
Right.
where
I
like
mean, it like especially
or
because
the path to it.
Xehanort became one kind of deliberately in an attempt to become Ansem, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
he
And,
could have
like-
easily been like, you guys all need to do this with me kind
Yeah.
of thing.
If these 2 are the lowest ranked, does it mean that they did whatever they did last? Does it mean that they hung back the most and they were most resistant and we're like, here's what we got to do?
Yeah,
when-
maybe
when
and they
this whole thing
formulated
kicks
their
off.
plan to try. Maybe they formulated a plan to try and like destroy it from the inside.
I mean,
Maybe.
it sounds.
don't even know.
It sounds like they wanted to take control of the organization or Kingdom Hearts itself.
Maybe.
So
Cyax
they
hasn't
might-
shown any
And
real
there's just also some-
rebelliousness, though.
But that's
Well,
what I mean
sure,
about like the
but-
whole. I feel like both him and Axel are kind of working on the inside kind of
Yes.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
Sykes literally could be a cool operator. Like
he could be the one who's like, I'm gonna be
He's just sitting there
buddy buddy
making
until my one
plans.
day where I
Yeah.
can stab him in the back of the neck.
The perfect actor, where he's like, I trust you, my only like number 2,
And
the
he
only
slits
one
his
who I
throat.
can truly now help me shave, and then he just cuts his neck with a razor blade.
Exactly.
Like,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Axel decides, nope, I'm tired of pretending.
Well,
I'm
he's
just
like,
gonna do
I'm
my
gonna
thing.
push it. the
Axel like
bounds.
formed real emotional connections with all of those other
Well, that-
friends, and he
yeah. It
lost
boosts
his
that little-
emotional
that
connection.
definitely changed
with
Axel.
Sykes.
It boosts that red one, blue one thing as well, like that little trope of like if they had the same goal but went at it 2 different ways,
Yeah.
where
One was working in the system, trying to rise up the ranks and be the perfect subordinate,
and
and
one
the other
was
one
pushing
is
the envelope to see like what will they let us
Yep.
get away
and
with.
Axel's powerful.
Yeah,
so
oh,
like
yeah.
they were like,
Axel's
we
pretty powerful,
need
yeah.
this dude. So I'm not gonna like kick him out if he just doesn't listen to me once or twice.
God
He
damn.
also like he
Xemnas'
still goes and
position,
kills
but-
all the people they tell him to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
but it doesn't sound like he really cared about them.
if the plan
no, I'm just
too,
saying, like as far as they're concerned, like he's still doing
Oh,
what
yeah.
they say.
Sure.
but also like if the plan, like I could see if the 2 of them had a plan going in and Cyax tells his buddy on the plan, all right, look, go and kill those 6. It'll be because they're traitors, quote unquote, and like whoever's left is told, oh well, they were planning to betray us, but it's actually like we're secretly subversively like
being
killing off
yeah.
as whoever in the organization we can get away with killing to make the path
Especially
to the
since
top
Xemnas
faster.
apparently gave Cyax those orders.
I mean,
like other
yeah.
people
maybe-
mentioned it.
And
I
he's,
mean-
he's whispering. He's doing the worm tongue thing. He's whispering things into Xemnas' ear, like, "Hey, a bunch of the members of the organization are actually betraying
Yeah.
us. We
you
should
should
do
totally
something
let
about
me
that."
kill them off.
I know Axel, at least he's like tough to control, but he has no ulterior motive. Like
Yeah.
I'll use Axel
He's not.
to kill.
He's not loyal to them. He doesn't seem to be loyal to
Well-
us as much, but he's not as loyal to them either. So
It makes
I
me
feel like
theory
that's
craft
very
slash headcanon. We have a triplet of main characters.
Yep.
2 boys and a girl.
Yep.
And Axel has a particular connection to Kyrie or to
Nominate,
Xion
or
slash
Xion, yeah.
nominate. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What if Axel and Sykes had a third friend, a female, that maybe like Xemnas did some experiment on and it failed and they killed her?
I mean, it could also be potentially how Larxene got as like twisted up as she is. Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is
maybe
sadistic.
Larxene was
Maybe
supposed to
Larxene-
be a normal person.
Maybe
Yeah.
Larxene might have been their third friend. or something. Like, you know,
Huh.
I'm just saying because they like to do like parody where like
They
you
do,
know,
yeah. There's a
Roxas-
lot of like mirroring going on.
yeah, Roxas and Xion, Kyrie and
And
Sora.
Riku being the like kind of bad Sora-ish,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So like, you know, if Axel is the reflection of Sora and
Sykes is the reflection of Riku. I
yes,
can see that.
Yeah.
and then maybe they had a third friend who
Kind of a
Xemnas
reflection
did
of
something wrong
Kyrie.
to. Either whether it's her or whether it's just somebody that
Hmm.
didn't even make it to nobodyism. They just died.
They're just gone.
and
yeah.
their plan is to go and get revenge, or maybe to try to bring back their third friend. Or
That could
something.
Yeah,
also
who knows?
be-
If Kingdom Hearts is
I
all
wonder-
powerful,
yeah.
maybe it can bring people back from
Is
the
I
dead.
her
wonder-
heart up there?
So Birth by Sleep, I know, is a prequel to all existing Kingdom Hearts media up to this point. I
Mhm.
wonder if that could be related to some of that. Like maybe someone that is a main player in that game is that person or is related in some meaningful way to one of them.
Yep. To,
It's also-
to both of them.
It's also, I think,
assume.
our last chance to actually see any organization members either before or after they become nobodies. Because I think after that, there are no other games that take place. I guess Dark Road also, but I guess those would be it. Every other game takes place at least after
They're
Kingdom
all
Hearts
dead.
2, I think.
Yes. Well,
I mean, not all
yeah,
of them, but
the
yeah.
majority.
Yeah.
Decent
Well, no, the
percentage
organization's
get
dead by Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts.
yeah.
By the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, they're all dead.
Yeah, because you
Oh,
fight them all in the
I forgot it was-
graveyard.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we murdered them. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we murder everyone that's left.
Yes, one in a row.
Yep.
And then we go
except Axel who just sacrifices
Yeah,
himself.
and then we go and
Because-
fight their
Excuse.
ghosts.
Yeah, because Sora's got Roxas in him, and he can't bear to let Roxas
Axel's
be
like,
dead
well,
completely.
can't let
Yeah.
Roxas die, I
Yep.
guess.
And then
yeah.
battle ghosts. Yep, for the second time for some of them.
Yes,
like
we,
Jesus Christ.
We murder them in death. Even.
All right, let's keep moving. Roxas left. Oh, not Roxas is left. It's Roxas left. Roxas has leaved.
He has leaved.
It's
Told
so,
you, yeah, winner, yeah.
Yep, it's so like him to just leave that winter ice cream stick behind. Come tomorrow, I'll probably get the order to hunt him down, but leaving that here makes it feel so permanent. I wish the three of us, that the two of us could share some ice cream together again someday. That's what it is to be friends.
Is he already forgetting Xion?
He might be. I think, yeah, because 357 is the day we fight Xion.
Yeah, and then
I just
she
like he's
and
like
she
three,
crystallizes.
3?
Yeah, I think by this point Xion's already dead, and he's already begun to forget her.
yes,
Yeah.
and then that was where we're like, oh, I see how memories work now. The
Yep.
whole chain of memories.
I do like that they give a little extra context to the terminology of the chain of memories that
Yes.
Yeah,
has
and
formed
why they used that phrase.
Yeah,
That is the concept that like we're all bound to each other through
Yeah.
memory, and if you cease
if
to
you
live
break
in
your
memory,
I don't
memory
hate it.
chain, yeah.
I know during the review I was
No.
like, it's very confusing because it is. The concept of
Yes.
memories in real
Yes.
life is hard, but it's like, it's a neat concept to kind of use in this universe. I like it.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea. It's just executed
It's
in a
tough to-
mildly
there's
confusing
a lot of
way.
adult psychological themes buried in this game.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of like propped up / covered over by fantasy wallpaper.
Yep.
Where it's like this
Which is kind of
magical
common, though.
force.
Like, think Link's Awakening. We talk about Link's Awakening all the time. That is a dead ringer for that exact kind of thing, where it's like, ooh,
I mean, yep.
we're on an island full of dreams. There's a big sky whale. Let's do this stuff. But, like, bubbling under the surface is this deep existential, like, thing.
Do
where
any
you're
of
like,
these people exist? Have they ever existed?
right. And, like,
What
could
is
they
reality?
exist?
What
is
is
it,
Yeah.
what is consciousness?
Is
What
it-
is
is it-
yeah.
morally okay to destroy this world even because it didn't exist, or is it worse because it now does? Like,
just
all
to
of that
escape.
stuff. And then last but not least, I think, with luck we can bring Roxas back into our fold, but even if Sora should awaken as the hero of the Keyblade, he is bound to keep unlocking hearts. If he should come to target us, we need simply subdue him and use his powers ourselves once more. I must become one with
Yeah,
Kingdom
'cause that's
Hearts.
really
I
easy.
will become a higher existence. All of my true ambitions
Ooh.
begin there.
Oh, so I was
Ah.
right. He wants to be a god.
He's a
Xemnas
MacGuffin
wants to
god.
become a god, yep.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's the last entry.
And
and we
that was
don't-
definitely a Xemnas Xehanort.
Yeah, and we don't unlock, like, do we unlock anything from that? No, we just have character list things, and these are the
Oh, we
same
can look at
sort
their
of...
pictures and reaffirm their names.
Oh,
though,
yeah,
which
that's
might
good,
have been a
actually.
nice
So
way to do it.
Xemnas,
He's made
yeah.
completed Kingdom Hearts the organization's goal, but harbors his own secret agenda. What agenda? That is his agenda.
Well, I'm assuming it's the turning into a god part.
yeah. Complete Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts is the goal, but his thing is he wants godhood.
Step 1, get Kingdom Hearts. Step
Zigbar.
2, question mark.
So I was right
Zigbar
with Zaldan.
solid snake.
Zaldan is Turl then, yeah. A
Yeah.
senior member of
Second
organization.
command.
Indeed, as well as in name. Even though he doesn't do shit. Like,
Yeah.
He
Sykes
really
does all the
doesn't.
work. He looks at
Zigbar
the
was
big-
nothing.
Maybe that's the idea. Sykes looks like the bad guy. And think, weird example, but think of Rent. We see a lot of stuff in comparison to Benny as being like the bad guy, but he's like, he was a friend of theirs and and decided on a different path, and they like villainize him for it.
Yep.
Even though he's just like a piece of a much bigger thing that's going on.
Yes.
So like same thing here. Syx is made out to be like the dickhead of this game, but it's like no, it's
I
more.
think that's just because we see Axel and him fighting
yeah,
so
we
much.
see we
Yeah.
see Syx through the lens of Axel, and that
And like
They
Axel's
skews
just
that.
angry
They
with
both
him,
changed
and
though after becoming
we also
nobodies.
care more
That's the
about
thing.
Xion and Roxas, and Syx is very like fuck them.
So Zaldin, presumably number 3.
This is why we have so much trouble keeping them straight.
Yeah, Zigbar and Zaldin. Also a founding member means he's one of the original 6 also.
Yeah.
That checks out.
He is both a fierce warrior and a strategist. He seeks a heart but despises love and bonds that tie people together. So he's the one
why
who's
do you
always
want a
like
heart?
he's the one who's always like people disgust me and
Yes.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Zigbar seems a little
They're
less
becoming
like, pointed
friends.
about
Yeah,
it.
Zigbar's a little
Gross.
bit more like planning.
Yeah.
I think.
I think he seeks a heart because he's trying to become full, like complete.
I
again.
guess I just like
Yeah.
if you despise love and bonds that tie people together, why do you care?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
he
guess.
probably became a nobody because he had some emotional guilt from the past about
Yeah.
love, or he betrayed
But
somebody.
somebody disposed
yeah,
of
someone
him.
disposed of Vexen. Yeah, Axel.
Somebody. Yeah.
So Vexen was one of the originals. So he was one of the 6, but he
and
got
he was
taken
probably
out.
the only actual scientist.
He was
Yeah.
probably the one most instrumental in getting Xehanort's like gears in motion.
Yeah, and just figuring out like Kingdom Hearts and all of those
Yeah.
things.
How to do
like-
Kingdom Hearts.
So Lexius, so this would be number 5,
God,
founding member. So
another
he's
person.
also dead by this.
This is Ramen Hair?
This is Ramen Hair. He dies at Castle
this
Oblivion.
is also somebody who's basically nothing.
Disposed of by an unknown assailant, which was Riku, actually, I think. Zexion, so he was also at Castle Oblivion. I think he
Oh, I
also
think
died
this
from
is,
Riku.
This math is working out, so Syx and Axel can't be in the founding.
So,
math.
yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe.
That's why I'm thinking like
Because that
'Cause
one, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you're right. So they weren't
Yeah.
founding members then. So they
that's
weren't
why I
part of
think
the
they
organization.
joined up with an ulterior motive
This makes
in
them.
mind.
Yeah, this makes them the first 2 to join that weren't.
But he's Xemnas' right hand man.
Right,
in
because
many
I
ways.
think that
Interesting.
we're talking about like
second in command indeed, as well as name, but
But
he's
then-
got a different right-hand man.
yeah.
Clumsy.
I mean, in terms of like hierarchy, sure, but Syx is like the commander who gives the orders.
yeah, it's like the general
Oh,
to
it
the
literally
to the
says-
captain who's basically
Yeah,
like
it's
you
like
command the
difference-
other
There's
ones.
director, producer, but there's also the assistant director who
Yeah.
can give orders to the producer. You
Yeah.
know, in the,
He and
yeah.
Axel, an old acquaintance, are plotting something. So did they? So yeah, so they were friends in life, I guess.
Yeah.
He prioritizes his own motives over the goals of the organization. He eventually becomes friends with Roxas after their initial meeting. Like Roxas, he comes to worry for Xion after becoming friends with her as well. Demix, this would be number 9, I guess. A member of Organization 13. His easy-go-lucky personality is uncharacteristic of an
Easy-go-lucky.
organization member. He can control water by playing a sitar, but is unaware that he is unfit.
He is aware.
God damn it. He is aware that he is unfit as a fighter. I think I jumped ahead to unfit.
I understand,
I
yeah.
love easy-go-lucky. It's halfway between easy-going and happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, wait. I didn't even notice
That's
that.
what I
great.
said. Like easy-go-lucky.
It's
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I take the same interpretation, right?
They just
Easygoing and happy-go-lucky.
just
It was
Google
a combo.
translated
blorped
this.
It.
And Luxor, number 10, Gambler. There's literally nothing else. He's the shallowest fucking characterization out of this entire group.
But he was also somebody who was okay to deal with.
Yeah, he wasn't
as
bad.
an organization member. He
Yeah.
wasn't like kind, but he was fine.
Marluxia, number 11. Despite having joined late, he is sent to Castle Oblivion and named its lord based on his profound abilities. He's intrigued by the Keyblade wielder and harbors dark desires, but was disposed of by an unknown assailant. That was Sora.
Yes.
Despite having joined late.
I mean,
That's
we're
an interesting
almost
way to
at
phrase
13
it.
here, right? Like
Yeah.
he's like.
But it's just like an interesting phrasing of it.
I mean, yeah. I assume he joined when it was like
There's some
10
chronology
of them,
to
Organization 10 or something.
I'm gonna say, like, I think I remember one of the characters commenting, like, "How come Marluxia gets his own castle? He's still kind of newish."
This. Yeah, but I mean, didn't his abilities have like he was super powerful?
Yeah. And also, Larxene does not like fit in very well based on being like. An
they're like
asshole.
she's
Yeah.
super conceited, and also we killed her. It's
Yeah.
fine. Don't worry
And
about
I
it.
don't think that she was the third like friend
No,
for the
yeah.
Axel.
Oh my god, I was
thing.
right. It was 10 before Marluxia joined. Ha! It was
Yes,
Organization
yeah.
X and then the late join. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was it Organization X?
No,
Well, no,
they
I'm
didn't
just guessing it
call
was
it
10.
that.
Organization
Oh,
10,
I see
right?
what
I'm
you
just
mean, yeah.
being facetious.
Yeah.
He is often assigned to missions to collect hearts as he wields a Keyblade. A bit of a zombie when he first joined, Roxas slowly regains himself through interaction with Axel and Xion, becoming best friends with them. All right. We got Xion, the 14th member of Organization 13. Like Roxas, she wields a Keyblade. Through interactions with Roxas, she forms her own identity and develops a friendship with Roxas and Axel. Okay, they don't really. I wish they filled in more information.
Yes, right. It's like we've completed the game. Give us all the secret shit too.
Sora, a young boy who wields a Keyblade, is a hero of light. He currently sleeps in the castle
Is this a new
Oblivion.
character?
Yeah, to restore his memories after saving the world from darkness.
You see, like his unconscious body a few times.
I love how it's weird, baby face, 8-year-old Sora.
Because it's when he went into the egg.
Yeah, that was all they knew about him.
Yep.
Riku, childhood friends with Sora and Kairi.
Riku.
He donned the organization's black coat, pretending to be a member, and investigates their actions while waiting for Sora's memories to be restored. All right, Kairi, childhood friends with Sora and Riku. She was once targeted by the forces of darkness for being a princess of heart back at Destiny Islands.
But that's not the plot anymore.
Yeah, back at Destiny Islands, she waits for Sora and Riku's return.
No, she doesn't. She can't remember them.
At the beginning
she,
of the game,
kind of remembers them. She's all like, "Remember my friends?"
Yep.
They were
About
my
4 weeks in,
friends.
she's no longer
She's
remembering.
not exactly
waiting
for them. She's going to school.
I mean, yeah.
Diz, why like that? Is
okay.
it a cheeky reference to Disney? Like, I don't know. A mysterious figure. Oh no, wait. Doesn't it stands for something?
Yes, it's like
darkness in 0 hearts or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's right. It was something really stupid.
It was
I'm
incredibly
looking this up
dumb
because I can't remember it.
A mysterious figure who waits with Naminé for Sora's memory to be restored. He despises nobodies and pushes Naminé to complete restoring Sora's memories to achieve a certain goal.
He might hate nobody so much because of the whole Xehanort thing.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Like that would
that's
make sense.
100%.
He's like, man, fuck this guy. They're all clearly evil.
It means darkness in 0.
Oh, but boom!
Yep.
Got it. Namine, a young girl with the power to rearrange the memories of Sora and everyone connected to him. She is currently restoring Sora's scattered memories. I kind of hope that when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3, their character compendium does eventually fill out with like everyone from the series, including ones who haven't appeared, and it's like
Here's
here
the
is
real
the actual
fucking
information.
description.
Goes
Yeah.
to Namine, it's like Kairi's nobody, and then continues like just say it.
Can we just fucking lay out all the goddamn information in one fucking place?
A Keyblade Master and Lord of Disney Castle. He traveled with Riku, but worries about being separated from him. Wearing
Worries
a black
after
coat.
being separated from him.
I mean, worries after, worries about. It's the same idea. Wearing a black coat, he pretends to be a member of the organization and gathers information on their actions.
I'd argue it implies wildly different thing. When you say worry about being separated, that implies you're together and worrying about getting separated. This one says, we are already separated and I'm concerned.
I see. Sorry. You can also worry after someone. Like, that is also a phrase.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah, worrying
Well,
about worrying
they
after
got
the same
separated
thing.
and
you're
he is
totally
worried.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope, you're 100% right. Worries after he becomes separated from
Yeah,
him.
like
Yes.
they got separated and he's like, shit, I hope Riku doesn't fall into the darkness.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry. Yeah, totally get it.
I love looking at these posts from 2006 where people are like, here is my theory on what DIZ means.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Disney is the best.
Well, yeah, and there's somebody who like, and it was back when they like was theorizing it meant darkness in 0 or darkness in something else.
Oh,
'cause there have
shit.
been
All
some
right.
leaks and things.
Oh, okay.
But this,
all right.
this
Darkness
particular,
in also is kind of like a making sense thing.
Yeah.
Then this particular post is talking about how the Japanese spelling of Diz's name is like comes out as Dizu, like in terms of pronunciation. But there's a character in between that's littler than the other two.
Yeah.
And if it was the bigger character, it would be Desu instead of Disu.
Dizu.
Desu, like not DESU, but like Desu.
DEISU, right?
Yes, correct. So they said that in the translation, there's a theory that they looked at the small middle character that was like a modifying character to the first one.
Yeah.
And they were like, does that mean that the middle one's supposed to be lowercase and the other one's supposed to be uppercase?
Oh, and they just were like, fuck it, do that?
Yeah, because I mean, it's obviously it's supposed to be Diz. Diz is correct.
Yeah.
But like,
why is the Z capital? And
exactly.
Shit? Yeah.
Why is it D lowercase I uppercase Z?
All right. And then that's it. That's everybody. So we've now 100%ed.
Yes.
We've now 100%ed the movie version of
the extras section of a movie.
Yeah, 358/2. Yeah. So there's a lot to absorb from this. I hope that Birth by Sleep fills in that last little tiny chunk of information, because there's a lot that I want to know about what happened before Xehanort took over as the false Ansem and Xemnas, before he became those two beings.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that Birth by Sleep gets into that a bit.
All I really care about is who were Axel and Sykes before they became nobodies.
Yeah.
What is their ulterior motive?
Yeah, I want to know about their relationship and what their plan is and all of those things. I want to play a game where we hang out with Axel.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know
Like,
more
I guess
about
that was kind of this game.
And it would be cool if we played a game where we hung out with Sykes when he wasn't having to be like, you
A
know,
dick cheese.
the commandant of Organization
Right, like, give
13.
him a little-
Honestly, I just want one where it's literally Axel and Six before all of this.
Lee
I'm also what Sai?
Lee
Say?
and his friends.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Like,
parents.
probably
SAI. I think it's like my only guess for his.
it could be like. So there's only 6 possibilities, right? So it's Sai, Sia, Asi, Ias, like AIS, even with the umlaut there. So maybe Ias or Ice, I guess.
I could see
and
Ice.
then Issa.
Ice would
or
also work
Ias.
thematically too,
Well,
right? With the whole blue hair and
that's
Axel's
true.
very fire.
I have a guess.
Lee
Yeah.
is for Leo and
I
the
was-
fiery kind of
That's
stuff
true.
there.
That's a
Like
good
I feel like
point.
I
Ice
was gonna
could
say
be.
LEA is Leah and
Whoop.
SIA is Sia.
Well, they pronounce it Lee. Though.
They do pronounce
very
it Lee,
specifically
but
pronounce
Right,
it Lee.
it
yeah.
could still work that way.
Who knows?
But yeah.
Well, yeah, as the little intro sequence plays out and we see all these dead people that we're I don't know if we're going to see them again.
Yeah,
Why?
maybe.
Why? Like some of them, they just keep their hoods up, and it makes me angry.
I think the ones that are wearing hoods are the ones that didn't appear in Chain of Memories.
Yes.
I guess.
Specifically. I don't know why. That's such a strange choice, but anyway, why don't we come back next time and we're going to take on Birth by Sleep and we'll see if we get some answers to those questions. Bye.
Bye.